This question is a New York State testing sampler number 1 for grade 8. It's question number 3. It's about linear equations on slope. So if we zoom into this question, we'll see the table represents a linear function. Okay, so linear function means you want to think this is a line. So I immediately start to think, oh, yeah, I have a line of some sort. So linear function means that there is a constant rate of change or slope. And we know that slope is rise over run, or your change in y over your change in x. They tell you your x column on the left side and your y column on the right side. So I'm just going to do a quick calculation for my change in y and my change in x. We know it's a linear function, which means we can test any two values and they will always be the same. So I can say plus 2, and this goes up by 4. I don't need to test them all because they tell me it's linear, so I can just do my 4 over 2, my change in y over my change in x. 4 over 2 gives me a slope of 2. Okay, now it says which function down below has a greater slope and a greater y-intercept. Well, this is interesting because we have a slope of 2. So choice A has to be ruled out. 2 is not greater than 2. But 3, 5, and 10 are all greater than 2. So that means we have to find our y-intercept. So as you recall, the y-intercept would be our value when x is 0. It's this point right here on the y-axis. So we need to look and see, well, when x is 0, what's going to happen? So I could sneak a 0 right in here, and I can start to count by ones. So if I counted by ones, -1 to 0, and I know my slope is 2, that means for every change, this slope is a 2 over 1 really. So for every 1 change in the x, our y is going to change by 2, which would mean that when we go from -1 to 0, we add 1, and to go from 5 to our next spot would be 7. So that means the equation for this would be y equals 2x plus 7. So now we're needing to look for something that has a bigger slope and a bigger y-intercept. The only one that fits that bill is choice B, so I'm going to cross off C and D because 6.5 and 5.5 are both smaller than 7. That means our choice B is our answer. It has a larger slope, 3, and it has a larger y-intercept, 7.5.